Fast Times at Ridgemont High, John Hughes, Demons, Short Circuit, Dirty Dancing, and more.
Welcome to 4K Kings. I'm Matt.
I'm Russ.
And this is JCVD. And let's get right into the news.
Oh, gnarly!
Out May 4th on Blu-ray from Criterion is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Coming in a 4K restoration supervised by director Amy Heckerling, this version is what she's calling her preferred version, where the Mike Damone pool house scene is framed as originally intended, because I guess at the time that it was trying to be released, the way that the shot was framed caused it to have an X rating. So they had to frame it a little bit differently. So this has been restored. So it's how she intended her movie to be seen finally for the first time.
Maybe people actually like it this time.
Finally, we can see the statutory rape in all of its glory.
Exactly. There's
Thank you, Amy.
More focus on the abortion plot.
We gotta get an abortion.
Please. That's exactly what we
all of us
needed.
wanted.
The television version of the film is also included, which I guess originally aired in the 80s.
Tonight, it's a far-out Wednesday night movie.
Conduct yourselves with the utmost maturity.
And they tried to make it more of a, obviously, family-friendlier version.
Fool stuff. Don't fool with it.
No, he just called him a nerd. A nerd.
So that they could show it on TV, cutting out probably some of these other storylines. But it featured 18 deleted and alternate scenes. So there's some people that grew up on this version of the movie, watching it as a child because they didn't see it in the theater, and they watched this maybe watered down version because that's what they could watch because they were children and that's what their parents let them watch or whatever. But I guess this has never been released before, so this is kind of a big deal for some people. How are you familiar with that television release? Or, I mean, I don't know how they brushed up like Phoebe Cates and kind of eliminated. There's so much stuff to eliminate. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, come on. When everyone thinks of this movie, they think of Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's probably like a different movie with a lot of
all the lurid details were in the edition that I grew up on.
Yeah, well, people are excited about this. Some of the other features included a new conversation with Heckerling and Crow.
I don't think you said Cameron Crowe is the writer who went on to probably have more success than the actual director, Amy Heckerling.
There's a previously released documentary from 1999 featuring interviews with the cast and the crew, an audio commentary from 1999 featuring Heckerling and screenwriter Cameron Crowe, an audio discussion from 1982 with Heckerling at the American Film Institute, and an essay by film critic Dana Stevens, and a new introduction by Cameron Crowe. So not like a huge release. There's not like a ton of extra features. I guess it's the restoration itself is going to be really nice. And then you have that television version of the film and a couple of things that has already been put out before.
I know for a long time, well, Criterion released Dazed and Confused. They had that out on a special edition DVD and Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. But if you recall, they used to package Universal put out Dazed and Confused and Fast Times at Ridgemont High in like 2-packs. You always saw them packaged together.
Yeah.
I guess it was just inevitable that Criterion would get their hands on this as they did with Dazed.
And what do you think the deal is with them not putting out anything in actual 4K? I mean, all these 4K restorations, I'm sure they all look great. Do you think they're of this mindset like, it's not worth our time, we don't see that much of a difference with our restorations versus 4K? There's like a money thing? Like, what do you think?
It's a good question, honestly. I mean, kind of like what Arrow or Blue Underground is really known for. I envision Criterion jumping on the 4K bandwagon at some point. I mean, they'd be silly not to. I will say this for Criterion fans, I'm happy that they're releasing a title like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which you could also argue, of course, has cultural merit. But on top of that, this film is going to sell. A lot of Criterion films, I mean, Bergman isn't keeping that label alive, as great as Bergman is. But you need to release titles like Fast Times, Breakfast Club, Dazed and Confused. You got to get the funding to get out, some of the other lesser-known treasures that Criterion is known for showcasing.
For sure. I guess the only other thing to think about with this is next year's its 40th anniversary. And that means it's like ripe for some 4K release. There's could be something planned. Again, you could be smelling that Do the Right Thing 4K a situation where you might have to choose, would I rather have the Criterion or this 4K release? I don't know which one will be better.
Speaking of do the right thing on 4K, I have still not received my order.
Really?
I ordered this from Target. I had a Target gift
saw
card.
that.
I pre-ordered
Steelbook,
Do the
right?
Right Thing Steelbook 4K. I got an email saying it was shipped. I've yet to see it. Blow me, Target.
Would you be picking this up, Russ? Fast Times? Criterion?
I will not be picking this up day one. This is something
Yeah.
I'd like to add to my collection at some point, but
I don't think I've ever upgraded this from DVD to Blu-ray, to be honest. So
I never even owned the DVD.
really, yeah, I have it on DVD.
It's a great movie. It's just one of those movies. Yeah, I grew up on it. It would sit on my shelf, but I'm not in a fast fury to put this on.
Okay.
But it is a classic.
Out now on Blu-ray from Paramount Home Media is the John Hughes 5-movie collection. In this collection, you will receive Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Pretty in Pink, She's Having a Baby, and Some Kind of Wonderful. Now, this kind of looks like one of those, just like haphazard, throw it all together, kind of a release where, you might typically see this in some like bargain bin, all 5 movies just jammed in there. They didn't exactly pull a bare bones deal on you, but I would say this isn't some great box set to be super excited about, with the exception that She's Having a Baby and Some Kind of Wonderful have never been released on Blu-ray before. When you look at all these movies that are released, essentially they've been released before. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Pretty in Pink. And all the features that you're getting with those are the same from past releases. There's nothing new whatsoever. Ferris Bueller's Day Off was previously released in some Bueller edition from Paramount, one of those silly ones. And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles had an edition not that long ago come out, I think in like 2017. And then Pretty in Pink, Paramount just released like a year ago or less on their Paramount Presents line. That one that's got the nice slip box on it that opens up and you can see the poster and it's got like a nice like case to it. Like they put that out already. Some Kind of Wonderful. So this is brand new to Blu-ray. They're lumping it in, but they've given it something. I mean, it's not bare bones by any means. Back to Wonderful, a conversation with director Howard Deutsch. Commentary by director Howard Deutsch and Leah Thompson. A making of, a meet the cast, and some John Hughes like time capsule.
I was just about to say, that director, he's married to Leah Thompson.
He sure is.
They better have been able to get her in there.
Get them together, yep. So She's Having a Baby got screwed a little bit. They didn't really get anything. They got some archival Kevin Bacon interview. I've never seen Pretty in Pink. I've never seen She's Having a Baby. Some Kind of Wonderful, I love. I really wish that they would put this out in some kind of a Paramount Presents line. It's already got very similar features to what Paramount Presents does. They give these little, interview, like sit down with the director and so on.
If they did that, nobody's going to buy She's Having a Baby.
No one's going to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Poor She's Having a Baby.
And let's be real, I know you and I are big fans of Some Kind of Wonderful, but does that movie have that much of a hold of
well, what do you think is the most?
minds?
What do you think is the most acclaimed here? Planes, Trains, or is it Pretty in Pink?
It's Ferris
Bueller
in my mind.
In your mind?
Planes, Trains has a lot of love. I've actually never seen Planes, Trains,
Okay.
and Automobiles. I'm one of the only people who can say that.
I feel like it's an odd selection within these 5.
Yeah, I would say as far as like standalone collector's editions, Ferris could stand on its own. Planes, Trains could stand
for
on
sure.
its own. The other 3, well, Pretty in Pink could stand on its own.
Yeah, they already did it. They already put it on its own.
She's Having a Baby, and even Some Kind of Wonderful. That's a box.
Yeah.
Those are box set movies.
Have you
I
seen
get
She's
it.
Having a Baby?
I did when I was a child
Yeah.
once, and honestly, I don't even remember it being a John Hughes movie.
Me
as
neither.
a kid, and I knew who John Hughes was. I always forget that's his movie.
I don't know if it's worth the double dip. I don't know if you already, if you don't own these already, if it's worth kind of buying all these, if you don't have all these other ones already, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you could imagine that Pretty in Pink and Ferris Bueller might get some 4K thing for their 35th anniversary. I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of, especially for Ferris Bueller. Like, why wouldn't they be out on like a Criterion, or why wouldn't their studio just release them like Paramount out in 4K? I don't know.
Ferris Bueller on Criterion. That's an interesting, because they did do Breakfast Club.
I mean, yeah, why not?
And we're talking Fast Times Dazed. Is Ferris a little too?
Is it too?
Pop, like a little.
Is it too? It's not
too
niche
commercial?
enough. Yeah,
I know. Like you could, with a film like Dazed and Confused or Fast Times, you can make some arguments about does Ferris fit the bill with like the depth that I guess people expect from a label like Criterion. Criterion should put out a special edition just of the scene where Cameron kicks the dad's car out of the garage.
That's it.
That gripping scene.
Yeah, 10
Dude,
minutes.
that scene as a kid, I remember like, what movie am I watching? All of a sudden it turned
changed.
into like this hardcore drama.
My old man pushes me around. I never say anything.
Yeah,
Alan
it was-
Ruck. What a great performance. Alan.
Alan Ruck, he's underrated. Oh wait, no, he was in that movie Freaky I just watched with Vince Vaughn. Never mind. Sorry, Ruck.
He was kind of annoying in Speed on the bus.
Everybody was annoying in Speed though.
Yeah, maybe. Sorry, Alan. Didn't mean to do that to you. The only other thing that I will say about this is that Some Kind of Wonderful is getting a standalone release in about a month in France. I don't know if that means that something might come our way sooner than later. I'm going to hold out, obviously. I wouldn't buy this. I would wait for a special edition of some sort of Ferris Bueller to make the jump, and then definitely a standalone of Some Kind of Wonderful. That movie's worth it to me. That's an incredible movie.
Does the one from France look like chicken shit?
What a great character. That's such a great character and a great scene when he just, shows up and just does his thing.
I'm here to wipe the floor with your ass, and you know it, and everybody knows it, and you deserve it.
Elias Koteas. Is that how you say that?
I have no clue.
Elias Koteas.
Casey Jones. That's what I call him.
Elias Koteas.
Mr. Crash.
He was also in that movie.
He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, Zodiac. No, with Paul Hogan. It was like his first. It was like his first movie where he tried to not be Crocodile Dundee. It was called like Almost an Angel, I think. And Elias Koteas was in a wheelchair.
I never saw it, but I remember that cover.
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair.
I remember
as
that
his friend.
cover in rental stores.
Yeah,
Or Shout Select on that one.
I know. Come on, bring it, bring it. Thank you, Elias Koteas, for making this John Hughes set worth it.
One day we'll learn how to say your name.
Maybe Elias Koteas, Elias. I don't know. Elios. So anyway, don't get this collection. Wait for all of these to come out in better editions. Fuck off, Paramount. We know what you're up to, and we're tired of your shit. Our 9 followers won't put up with it.
The preview you are about to watch is for a movie that is unlike any you have ever seen before. It is a movie called Demons.
Out now on 4K Ultra HD from Arrow Films is the 2-disc Demons 1 and 2 set.
Yes.
Yes, and this is a new 4K restoration of both films presented in Dolby Vision from the original camera negative. This set looks really awesome. I've never seen these movies before, just knowing the covers from the past, but even, I don't know, is this the original cover for this film?
That I don't know. I doubt it.
It's reminiscent. Those faces look very familiar.
Really?
They do. Like that, those scary looking faces look really familiar to me.
Actually, no. The cover I know for the original Demons, it's like that blue, almost looks like The Fog. John Carpenter's Fog.
Really?
Like they're kind of walking towards the cover. And that's the one I remember more of.
Gotcha.
This set, no, that's beautiful though.
No,
this
this-
box
yeah.
is incredible. A review from me will be coming shortly.
Definitely.
I just got this the other day. I can't wait to dig in.
On disc 1, you have the original Demons, but 2 versions of it. Full-length original cut in Italian and English, and the slightly trimmed U.S. cut featuring alternate dubbing and sound effects. Which version will you be watching, Russ?
I mean, if any Italian horror movie from this era has that kind of odd mixture of English, bad English and Italian. If anyone who's familiar with the movie Demons, why would you watch?
Why would you do anything else?
Well, yeah, you're going to go with the unrated. I mean, this
Okay.
movie's excessive. I mean, that's the whole point.
You're also going to get a new lossless 5.1 audio and the original 2.0 lossless audio, both in English and Italian. So you can kind of get an upgraded soundstage or just go with what you used to have, which that's pretty cool that they give you that option. You get newly translated English subtitles for the Italian soundtrack. You get new audio commentary by critics Kat Ellinger and Heather Drain. Archival audio commentaries from the director, the makeup effects artist, some of the actors, the actresses. You get a new visual essay by the author and critic Michael McKenzie. Archival interviews with Dario Argento himself. And then on disc 2, you have Demons 2 with also the 4K restoration, as I mentioned before. Archival audio commentaries, some new visual essay on space and technology in Demons and Demons 2. Some creating the creature carnage, which is some archival interview with the effects artist. The set itself, I mean, just looks great. It looks like you're getting a poster. You're getting some sort of, what's that, a Metropole, like a ticket?
That's actually a valid movie ticket.
Really?
To some, obviously, we're in America, so I don't know what this theater is. I'm assuming it's in the UK. But I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know exactly what that entails yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say because the set does look incredible. The box looks incredible. The art looks incredible. I'm not too familiar with these movies, but I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it, and maybe that'll get me interested.
I have never seen the second Demons. I've only seen the first one. I've heard things about the second. I'm interested to see it. The first one is a blast. If you're a fan of Evil Dead.
Can I get a quick synopsis or?
Quick synopsis. Demons are unleashed in a movie theater.
Nice.
That's it. And
Done.
if you're a fan of Evil Dead, excess gore, humor, it's a breeze. This movie's a blast.
Especially with the clunky Italian sort of like dubbing, kind of makes it a little bit more entertaining. Or
of course, it adds to the. And this movie's not taking itself seriously. This is a fun movie. This is in that vein, and it has one of the greatest endings, one of the greatest horror endings. It's hilarious. The literal ending of the movie is. It's incredible.
Is there anything I would miss out on by not getting this right away?
You're going to miss out on this box because I guarantee
it's
you
limited,
what Arrow's... Right? Oh, yeah. I guarantee you what Arrow... They'll probably do like a Steelbook release in a couple months, and then right after that, it'll be the standard edition, which will include all the features, just not have this awesome box.
Gotcha.
art.
Okay.
And probably lack a free movie ticket.
All right. Well, looking forward to your review. Demons out now. Out April 27th in 4K Ultra HD from Lionsgate, exclusively at Best Buy, is the Dirty Dancing 4K Steelbook.
Nice.
So, unsure on the features here. Other than the 4K disc, there isn't any updates on what will be contained on this disc. No features to speak of. However, back in 2017, there was a 30th anniversary set that was released, which was pretty incredible. It was sort of what you'd expect from, again, like an Arrow or somebody where they put a really nice box together. It was really nicely done. It had original posters, scripts, like all kinds of extras, like a door hanger, postcards, a motel key, some dance instruction cards, a compact for makeup. There was some like talent show program, and I carried a watermelon bag. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Like all these little tchotchkes that would normally come with it, plus the 30th anniversary Blu-ray as well. So it was kind of a nice set. Came out a few years ago. So now Best Buy is putting out this exclusive Steelbook. You're not getting it in a regular case at this point. You only can get it in the Steel. They're the ones putting it out first. Allegedly, fans, and I've never seen this movie, so Russ, I'd like to hear your thoughts because I know you have, but fans have been pissed off about the transfers for years on this movie, even on the 30th anniversary disc. have you ever owned any Dirty Dancing Blu-rays or DVDs?
Yes, I've been aggravated for years.
Have you?
The Dirty Dancing transfer.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
You're not. You're one of those. Oh, you're not.
This
Okay.
movie, it's a fun movie. It's good. It's been released 1 billion times.
But I think another thing to kind of consider, this is like the 35th anniversary show. This movie is having its 35th anniversary next year.
Is it really like, wow, the 35th anniversary? Like,
I don't know.
It's just an excuse. That, hey, let's put a Steelbook together and get.
I love Patrick Swayze. I've never seen this, which I feel like this and maybe like Roadhouse and Point Break are kind of like the 3 jewels in his crown. Maybe Ghost.
Ghost, yeah, I'd say I'd put. Ghost.
All right, well, there's 4 jewels in his crown.
I'd put this above Ghost. I feel like this has lasted.
Above Ghost.
Yeah, as far in time, I think this is seen. This is more beloved than Ghost over the years.
Yeah.
I think if you say nobody puts Baby in the Corner to anyone, they know what you're talking about. There's nothing like that with Ghost. Ghost has kind of faded out over the years, pun intended. This edition solely exists for Christmas and birthday presents for your mother.
Gotcha.
That's like why this movie keeps getting released in different editions. This is like the easiest. Man, I don't know what to get my aunt for Christmas.
So, Russ, is what you're saying this movie's is for the 4K queens? The last thing just to say about this is I'm not sure I like this art. It's like an interesting illustration. I don't know if I've never seen the movie again, so I don't know if this neon purple pink kind of fits with the talent show, with the dancing. I don't know.
It's not that stylish in the movie, but it fits. It's kind of purplish. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's not terrible. As someone who has seen the movie, that box art is not terrible.
Not the worst.
No. It's not great, but I've seen worse.
As far as this release is concerned, you kind of have a choice to make. As you had mentioned, this movie gets released a lot. Next year's the 35th anniversary. Who knows what's possible? Some other 4K sort of collector set. In a year, they might put this out in 4K with, this bundle of goodies that maybe Dirty Dancing fans are clamoring for.
Oddly enough, has there ever been a release that's included the soundtrack That's like the
I don't
biggest
know.
thing about this movie is the soundtrack.
I don't know.
And
That's true.
I love when releases do that, and I feel like this film, it's a classic soundtrack. Whether you like it or not, it's a classic soundtrack.
Well, Patrick, we love you. Dirty Dancing. I don't think this is the release that's going to make me finally go out and watch it, but I love you, Patrick.
Ditto.
Out in March on Blu-ray from 88 Films is Short Circuit 2. Short Circuit 2. So Short Circuit 2 has only been released one other time before. It was about 10 years ago, actually. And other than that, you could get it in some 2-pack with the first one and the second one, basically bare bones. But again, it's been, I think, out of print for a while. So 88 Films is finally putting out a decent release of this movie. It is a high-definition Blu-ray. There's a new feature-length audio commentary from Kenneth Johnson, the director. There's a making Short Circuit 2 interview with Kenneth Johnson, a writing Short Circuit 2 interview with the screenwriters Brent Maddock and S.S. Wilson. There's a storyboard sequence with director commentary, some never-before-seen rehearsal videos, an extensive behind-the-scenes photo gallery, a gag reel, an actor profile on Fisher Stevens himself. And then the limited content for this nice-looking set includes a reversible sleeve with brand new artwork and the classic original poster art, a limited edition rigid slipcase with new artwork, a limited edition 80-page perfect bound book with notes by James Oliver and extensive behind-the-scenes promotional imagery, a limited edition fold-out poster, limited edition collectible postcard set. It is Region B locked. But if you're a 4K king,
Day one purchase. And before we go any further, this new artwork is incredible.
it is really good.
Dude, he's even got his bloods.
Yeah, he's got his bandana on. It is. It's good. It is. It's really good. Compared to the original Blu-ray release of this from 10 years ago, this is a much needed upgrade.
I will say
Break it down for me.
the only thing this release is lacking is an apology from Fisher Stevens.
Yeah, he does owe us all
for
an
his
apology.
racial insensitivity. Wow.
Yes.
This movie would never be remade.
No.
Well, it would, but Benjamin's got to go.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could do that role today?
No.
And I see that, Steve Guttenberg didn't come back. He was kind of like washed his hands of it after the first one. I don't know. I mean, it was a cult classic. I think it's still beloved.
A rare moment where Gutenberg made
he turned down a paycheck.
Good career decision.
Yeah. Was it? Well, so are you saying that this
maybe
movie
it wasn't?
Is this the Gremlins 2 of the Short Circuit franchise?
I would not go that far. That's high praise. You don't ever.
In terms of
Gremlins
changing
2,
tone, in terms of where this movie kind of goes versus the first and what I mean?
No, this is just a bad sequel.
It's just terrible.
It's just a bad sequel. It's a bad sequel. It's a good bad movie, but it's a bad sequel. And Short Circuit 2 was like, hey, we have this character, kids love it. They RoboCop 2'd it.
Gotcha.
Let me say, not Gremlins 2, they RoboCop 2'd it.
Gotcha.
In RoboCop, that's terrible because you took this brilliant, violent satire and made it a family film. Short Circuit was already a family film. So this one, they just softened it even more,
I actually have a hard time remembering the ending to the first one, but I clearly remember the ending to this one, where he's all suited up in his gear. He's like leaking fluid. He's got like the mohawk on his head. The song from Footloose plays like I need a hero. He's on the boat. It's like a speedboat. He like crashes.
Wait,
There's,
what
like,
Doesn't he fly? He's got a parachute on. Is that in Short Circuit?
I think that's that part because doesn't he
through
fly
the city?
Yeah, dude. It's like I remember that ending because he's in like Radio Shack. And he like has to build himself. I always love scenes like that in movies where there was some like character like getting ready for battle and they're like strapping things on and clicking things on.
Yep,
and he's
like
doing
Gizmo,
this like
being
Gizmo
influenced by Rambo and
like
Gremlins
Evil
2.
Dead in the shed. Like all these types of things where it's like I got to suit up for some battle. And
I
remember
how-
that scene. It was really good. And he's leaking.
I love
bloody.
how we've become the most animated and passionate about Short Circuit 2.
We should have led off with this one.
Ali Sheedy didn't come back either.
Ali Sheedy didn't come back, did she?
was
And
the
what was
main
that other
character in
dude?
the
Her
first
boyfriend
one.
who was an asshole. He's always an asshole and everything. What was that guy's name?
God, I know exactly who you're talking
Yeah, dude.
about.
But
Is there
anyway.
a Short Circuit curse? Fisher Stevens, his career didn't really blow up.
Yeah, what's Ali Sheedy doing?
Steve Guttenberg, Ali Sheedy.
Steve Guttenberg had a decent run.
To who?
So Short Circuit 2. Wow. Really bringing back the memories. Out in March. 88 Films.
Man, that was a solid segment.
That was solid. So, Russ, you pick up anything good this week?
Wow, funny you should ask, Matt. I actually have it right here.
Oh.
I didn't pick this up this week, but
Okay.
I finally got around to watching it.
What is it?
This is the Robert Radler film Showdown. And this is the MVD Rewind collection. I'm a fan of this imprint. I like what they do. They always come with the cool slips that have the old nostalgic Be Kind, Rewind.
Oh, can I see
little
that?
stickers, VHS cover style slip.
MVD. I've never heard of MVD.
They put out Double Dragon. They put out a lot of B movies such as Showdown. In traditional MVD Rewind fashion, you get great bonus features for a title like this.
Nice.
It's astounding. There is an actual feature-length documentary on the making of Showdown. So if you want to hear great actors such as Patrick Kilpatrick, villain in many 80s action films, and others go on and on about how they ripped off the Karate Kid for an hour and a half, this is the release for you.
What I like, just looking at this, is this reminds me right away of like what Mill Creek does with their VHS release.
Yes.
But what I like,
Step up though.
That's exactly what I was about to say. For one, you actually get some care put into the release. It looks like they feature like documentary. But I also like the way that they take care of the slip. It is reminiscent of a VHS box without being kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, shitty looking. They've got a nice like Be Kind Rewind sticker, like you said. It's like worn on the corner, but it's not tacky, and it's got the little Rewind collection. It's got the genre on it, martial arts. That's really cool.
Look, they even comes with a little. I don't know what size that would be.
Yeah,
but
like that's kind of it's like 8
a little
by
bit bigger than
10 or something.
It's roughly 8 by 10, a little poster print.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I said, dude, a feature-length documentary on the making of Showdown, a movie you have never heard of, and why would you? The only notable thing about this is that it's a Billy Blank's vehicle before he became the maestro of Tai Bo.
Billy Blanks.
Christine Taylor, Mrs. Ben Stiller. This is an early work of hers. She plays the teen love interest. But this is literally a shameless retread of Karate Kid. Billy Blanks is Mr. Miyagi. A kid's in high school. He's getting bullied. He has to learn what in the future would become MMA to defend himself in his new school. It is shameless, as I said, hilarious, endlessly entertaining, and shitty. If you want to think early 90s, late 80s, movies like that, not like even Arrow won't do them.
Yeah.
Like MVD, they'll pick up the slack. More of a focus on action than horror. But man, if you're a fan, you can't go wrong. Like, you cannot go wrong with these releases. This is kind of a childhood staple, even though it's a terrible movie. I can't believe this edition exists. If you're a fan, if you know this movie at all, go out and buy this and support this company. Fantastic
MVD.
work. Fantastic work.
Wow, MVD. Recently, talking a lot about JCVD made me finally want to pull the trigger on getting Cyborg from Scream Factory. And this is another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie that came out on Canon Films. It was Bloodsport. Then he had one other movie that came out. It was like something that wasn't like a big name at all. Then he did this. Then he did Kickboxer. This movie, Kickboxer and Bloodsport, are my three favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I mean, I'm a purist. I'm a Kickboxer, Bloodsport guy. I mean, that's just Jean-Claude Van Damme to me. But this movie was so unexpected because this movie is actually like a thriller, but it's also dark.
I was just about to ask this because there are certain releases, because you know how Scream Factory is just Shout Factory, but there's some that get put on the Scream Factory imprint that baffle me. And I never considered Cyborg a horror movie. And that's why I was going to ask you, is Cyborg more of a... I have not seen... I love Bloodsport.
Dude,
I've seen Kickboxer. I always missed Cyborg.
I would recommend Cyborg to anyone that is a fan of Jean-Claude or not. I think this is such an interesting movie because it is a thriller. It's scary at times. Some of the imagery is a little unsettling at times. The main villain is very terrifying. The dude is actually in Point Break for a second. He's one of the three guys that tries to get in a fight with Keanu Reeves, one's Anthony Kiedis, one's, whatever. The guy's name is
the dark-haired guy
with the really piercing blue eyes.
Is he the "we're just gonna fuck you up" guy in Point Break?
Vincent Klein.
I'm watching this immediately just because of that.
He is absolutely terrifying in this film. I'm not, and again, this is a thriller, and it's an apocalyptic sort of wasteland type of a movie. Some virus has just decimated everything. There is a cure that is embedded inside of this half human, half robot or cyborg, and Jean-Claude Van Damme has been tasked to take this person somewhere so that this cure can be given out. However, this guy, this villain, and his band of like pirates, they want to capture her so they can have the cure for themselves and kind of rule the world, so to speak. But
it's pretty highbrow. For
that's the plot.
Vehicle.
I know, and that's the plot. And why I was trying to explain that too is that you have this sort of weird sort of concept that he's in, and he's flexing his JCVD muscle. It's not like Kickboxer. It's not just to show what he can do, but when it's time for him to fight, he does his stuff. It's really well done too. I feel like the production value is good. The way that they made everything look really destroyed and all the costumes that are done. It's just unlike any other Jean-Claude Van Damme movie I've ever seen. And it's actually like really well done, in my opinion. And Scream Factory put out a really decent release. I was late getting it, so I didn't get the slip or anything. But you do get a new 2K scan of the interpositive, some new interviews, some special effects, that kind of stuff. But it's pretty cool, man. I mean, I would check it out for sure.
It almost sounds like a John Carpenter movie. It does. Like what you're saying, where it works and it's fun, and the product, like, not that Canon had some great budgets for production ones, but like Masters of the Universe works.
Yeah,
for some
it does.
Reason.
Yeah,
Over the Top.
Yeah,
works for some reason. And I'm getting the impression this is kind of like in that vein. I want to check this out,
dude. Man, it's cool. I mean, you could definitely see maybe there's like a Mad Max-ish kind of vibe with the costumes and things they were trying to do. With some of the weapons they have and stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, there's like a scene where Jean-Claude Van Damme gets crucified, like actually pretty intense scenes, and he's got to do his like Jean-Claude Van Damme thing to like rip himself off of this cross that they hung him to. It's pretty intense what goes on in this movie, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. So definitely consider picking that up or checking that out if you haven't already. That's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Please like, please comment, please let us know what you think. We've got 9 subscribers. For everybody that's watching, you 9, you are truly special people, and I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you, Mitch the Wise. Thank you, Easy Bone. Oral Sovaneg, thank you so much for liking our content. Please come back soon. Tell your friends. Have a great night.